Yeah, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Drag to the Dash On, and right now you watching an episode of Drag Factz. Facto. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drag to the Dash On. I like to break down my first encounter, the greatest encounter with DMX, which is my first encounter with DMX. It started like back in 1994. My mans and them had took me to Yonkers to meet some dudes that he feel as though can put me on. At the time, I think I probably was like 14 or something like that. So, I was a little youngin'. I went up there, I spit, and I could tell that they was feeling me. At the time, they was still occupied. Like, you feel what I'm trying to say? They had the locks already, and then he had DMX in the cut. But I ain't meet DMX yet. Let's fast forward now. Let's fast forward. Because at that time, they was a little occupied at that time, so they couldn't really rock with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's fast forward 3 years later. I'm selling mixtapes in Harlem on 125th Street, but I'm still joining rap contests and winning them first place, all of them. I'm running through everything. Like at an early age, word got back to the people who I went to go see, which in return turns out to be the Rough Riders, right? So this is like 1997 now. I'm out there selling mixtapes. I'm out there selling DJ Clue mixtapes. And DJ Clue was like the poppin'est mixtape at that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Word up. And the Locks and Cameron and Noriega and Herb McGruff, like they all was lit at that time. And they was like all over the Clue joints. So I was selling them joints, making my little money. One day I seen the General, who they brought me to in 9-4. He came through and he had the Locks with him. Now, at that time, I know who the Locks was. You feel what I'm saying? Like back in 9-4, and I didn't really know who they was. My uncle knew who they was, but I didn't really know. And 9-7, I already knew who they was. I was already a fan of them already. So they came through 125th Street with the General. I guess they was coming through. It looked like they was coming from like a Puff Daddy function, or because they all had suits on, suit and ties and all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out there selling mixtapes, and the dude remember me, the General. He remembered me. He came up on me. He was like, "Yo, I heard you still spitting and all that, and I'm gonna need you to call me tonight, like around 8 o'clock." All right. I waited. I called that nigga at 7:59. And true indeed, he picked up the phone at 7:59 and said, "Yo, I'm gonna send my man over there. He probably gonna be there like 20 minutes. He already in Harlem." Because at the time, I was living in Harlem at the time. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm from the Bronx, but I was living in Harlem at the time on the east side. He sent his man Butler. And Butler came through my crib and picked me up and took me straight to the studio. Took me all the way up to, I didn't even know where I was going. You feel what I'm saying? He took me all the way up to Yonkers. I got up in there, and it was like a few people there and all that stuff too. I ain't gonna front. There was a lot of there. It was PK was there. The big homie Dame Grease was there. I think Big Stan was there. I know for a fact my man Nardo was there. You know what I'm saying? Word up. Shout out to shout out to the homie Nardo, because he was the first one to actually make me feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Being there. You know what I'm saying? He was a real cool dude. I mean, he was like the first one to embrace me. Like, so shout out to Nardo. And as I'm walking through that door, I'm hearing everybody like the Locks wasn't there. Right? But I'm hearing everybody talking and all that. Everybody talking and all that. But I recognize one voice. I said, "Oh, you know what? This gotta be that dude from that song." Because the only thing I know him from is, and don't come at me with no use caution, because when I went, I did like abortions for bigger portions. I only know him from that. I only know that. So, but that voice was distinctive. I always was wondering, like, who is that on that record right there? Like we know the Locks killed it, but who is that? Soon as I walked through the door, I heard him talking to other dudes, and I knew it was him right then and there. I probably was like 16 or 17. And I ain't gonna front, like the General, he kind of got right to it. It wasn't too much playing around. It was like soon as I walked through that door, he was like, "Yo, everybody, This is Drag. You know what I mean? You know, he might be like a new, like a newcomer up in this joint right now, but you know, we gonna see what it is. And they just went on and turned the beat on. I ain't even know what battling was. And they turned the beat on and he said, all right, spit. As soon as the beat came on, the beat was fire too. It was either a PK beat or a Dame Grease beat. I spit, right? Boom. Brrrr. And then DMX spit it. But I'm noticing he looking dead at me like, I'm like, oh, snap, hold up. I'm going at him. So now me and X, we battling and we went like 15 rounds. No lie. I lost all 15 rounds. I was no match for him in no shape or form. I was no match. I mean, it was like a vibe. So we was like spitting going in for like 30, 40 minutes. So we probably went like 14, 15 rounds. I lost all 14, 15 rounds to him off rip. He was spitting that shit that y'all niggas love him for at me. Like, you want more? You want more? You can stand. You want more? I'll put you in your in the stand. Who the man? I was looking at him like, okay. But I kept coming. You feel what I'm trying to say? I kept spitting. And I ain't go front. I could tell this nigga X was like, yo, this little nigga don't even know that I'm chewing his up. I'm on the ground now. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like if this was real war, I'm on the ground bleeding, still spitting, still fighting. And I think that's where I gained my respect within the camp. You know what I mean? As far as Rough Riders and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I know I gained my respect from him because he knew I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I knew out of every round, I'm going to get one good hit, pop, and then I'm going to get beat up for the rest of the joke. I was willing to accept it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to front. He threw me around every round. First round. What more? Threw me around. Second round, threw me around. Third round, threw me around. Fourth round, threw me around. I'm still getting back up though, going in. And that's what DMX respected about me. You feel what I'm saying? Because he knew at that time I completely blacked out. I ain't even really realized that I was getting chewed up. I ain't even have no arms, no legs. I had bite marks all over my face. Know what I mean? But he knew that I ain't care. I was there for a reason. And that's to get my point across. Word. You feel me? Straight up. With a stuttering problem. Word. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know y'all see it, y'all hear it every now. I mean, you know, it'll pop in and pop out. Beastin' though. Not letting nothing stop me. And that's where DMX, he looked at D, the general. You feel what I'm trying to say? Because every rhyme I spit, everybody was like, hold up. He can't be right now. You feel what I'm saying? You got to keep in mind, I think I'm like 17, 16, 17. You feel what I'm trying to say? So they like, yo, he a beast every time. I get my little pop and then I just get beat up for the rest of the round. But I kept coming. You know what I'm saying? I kept spitting straight up. He knew what it was, and I had rhymes for days, like how I am now. You know what I mean? Just bar after bar, let's go. You feel what I'm saying? And my bars wasn't even that sharp, but I was still dead nice though. And they synced it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's where I gained my respect from DMX. That was my first encounter with DMX. Blood everywhere. Like we was battling and we was going back and forth, and it was like I want to say it was a war, but I was getting chewed up every round. You know what I'm saying? Um, no match for the big homie. Never was. But he respected me. He looked at D the general. He gave D that look like, yeah, he good. You know what I mean? And right from that moment, when he looked at D and D looked back at him like, I knew I was on from there. You know what I'm saying? I knew at that moment, I'm on now. It's a wrap. Now it's on me. Now I gotta move that pen. That's it. The only person can this up is me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a big moment. You know what I'm saying? And it was a moment that I will never ever forget because that moment is what changed my life. Fact though, a drag fact though. I knew I was on right after that. You know what I'm saying? Like right after that, they turned on the beat and we got right to it. I left out of there with like 4, 5 beats. You know what I mean? Word up. That was big. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in deep thought because I'm remembering that night. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's when after that I really had to start shaving my bars up and making sure my bars was tighter. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But that was my first encounter of DMX. You know what I mean? Word up. That was actually my first battle. I lost. I won every battle after that. Not to him though. I didn't battle him again after that. I knew better. But every other dude or any other artist that was mad that he vouched for me, like I chewed them up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I did that because I was cut from a cloth that you can't wash your face with. You know what I'm saying? And that's being underneath Jadakiss, being underneath Styles P, being underneath Sheik Luch, being underneath DMX. You know what I'm saying? So when you underneath greatness like that, you learn and you pick up, you know what I'm saying? And you know better. You feel what I'm saying? Straight up. And that's what it is. And that's my first encounter of the big homie DMX. Rest in peace. Big salute to the big homie. D, the general. Straight up. Without him, there is no me. Period. First encounter of DMX, man. Word up. I love telling that story. I love y'all. Big salute to y'all. You already know what it is. Drag to the dash. Yo, follow your boy. Instagram. Drag_on1. You know what it is.